The Calgary Police Service has charged the biological parents of a child who died in 2013. At approximately 3:50 p.m. on Friday, November 28, 2013, a 14-month-old boy was taken to a local area hospital by his parents. The infant, John Clark, was treated but was declared deceased the following day. An autopsy was conducted on Monday, December 2nd, 2013. Following further tests, the cause of death was determined to be related to malnutrition. Following a long and complex investigation, the biological parents of the deceased were arrested without incident on Friday, December 12, 2014. Jennifer Clark, 38, and Jeromie Clark, 34, from Calgary, have both been charged with criminal negligence causing death and failure to provide the necessaries of life. Their next court appearance is scheduled for Monday, December 15th, 2014. Under the Criminal Code of Canada, it is a legal requirement for a parent or guardian to provide the necessaries of life. This is defined by the courts as food, shelter, care, and medical attention necessary to sustain life and protection from harm. I'll now take your questions.
Can you explain why it took so long to lay the charges? We knew that malnutrition was
The investigation into the manner and cause of death of infants can be a long and complicated process. In regards to the autopsy, the anatomy of a child is different than that of an adult, and there are tests that are conducted on an infant that aren't conducted on adults, and it can take time to get those results. And in regards to this investigation, we consulted 4 experts to help us determine the manner and cause of death. That included an infectious disease specialist, a neurologist, a dermatologist, and a pediatrician, and it took time to get the results of their examination of the file.
So when was it actually determined that he died from malnutrition?
It was a culmination of our investigation, and as a result of our investigation, the charges were laid in regards to necessaries of life and criminal negligence causing death. So it was an ongoing process throughout the investigation. We had to ensure that we conducted a complete and thorough investigation, and as I stated, the investigation into infant deaths can be complex and time-consuming.
Were there other guardians involved, or just the biological parents?
The biological parents, there were family members, but we believe that the biological parents took steps to conceal the condition of the infant from the family members. And it was only on the advice of family members that the infant was taken to the hospital. And we were called immediately and started our investigation. The child died within 24 hours of being admitted to the hospital.
So was he ever in the care of the province then, or?
He has never been in the care of the province. He was with the parents. And based on our investigation, we believe that he has never seen a doctor.
Are there other siblings?
There are 2 other children. They were taken from the family during the early stages of the investigation, and they're both in a safe place.
Can you say what condition those children were in?
All I can state is that they were taken from the family during the early stages of the investigation, and they're in a safe place.
Older or younger?
They are older children.
Do you have ages for them? Or?
I'm sorry?
Are you able to provide ages for them?
I don't have that information with me right now.
Okay. Can you say if those children had to be treated for anything?
I can't comment on whether they have or have not been treated. But what I can tell you is that they were removed from the family and they are in a safe place.
Were there any religious or cultural reasons for the parents to not provide the care initially?
Well, we believe that the family followed a strict dietary regimen based on their faith and nutritional beliefs. What we can tell you is that the child was suffering from a staph infection that was complicated by malnutrition, and as a result, that infection was untreatable, and he died within 24 hours of being admitted to the hospital. In the majority of cases, this infection is treatable by antibiotics if treated earlier.
So the
It's a staph infection complicated by malnutrition.
Can you talk more about the dietary regimen or the religion?
I can't get into specifics. We hope that that information will come out during the court process. But what I can tell you is that in spite of any beliefs, parents and guardians are required to provide the necessaries of life. That includes care, medical attention, food, and shelter. And if not, the consequences can be severe, and people or parents and guardians can be held accountable for their actions.
So their dietary regimen was based on their faith, you said?
Their faith and nutritional beliefs.
And when you said that this little boy, you believe you've never seen a doctor, like,
We have no indication that he had seen a doctor since his birth, and that the family took steps to conceal his condition from family members. And it was only after a realization by a family member that the infant was sick that they were advised to take him to the hospital.
Can you clarify, it's their faith that requires them to have these nutritional beliefs?
No, I'm saying that based on their faith and nutritional beliefs, they followed a certain dietary regimen.
which area of the city did they live in?
They lived in the north part of the city in a residential neighborhood, in a normal home, or it appeared normal for all intents and purposes.
Can you say which community?
North Calgary.
Can you say what hospital the child was?
I can't say which hospital the child was taken to.
There was no concerns with the other two older children?
The children were removed from the home during the early stages of the investigation, and they're in a safe place.
Is the couple from Calgary?
Yes, they are. They're a Calgary couple.
And
We had
the two other children are both their biological children as well?
I believe they are. Yes, they are.
Can you speak to how rare this is to have a child die from malnutrition?
They're extremely rare, thank God. And we're concerned anytime we have a death in the city, but when we have a death of an infant, it tends to strike a chord with everyone. Unfortunately, these types of investigations and deaths are rare.
So the details kind of elude me for the moment, but it was about a year and a half ago, there was another case in the spring, and I think the child was 5 or 6 years old. It was similar, the failure to provide, there was an infection that was brought on, it wasn't treated. Do you remember that?
It was, yeah.
So this isn't unheard of, I guess. I mean,
I'm sorry?
It's not an unheard of type of case.
It's not an unheard of type of case, but they are extremely rare, fortunately. We've only had several investigations involving this type of case in the last couple of years, and I think we're very fortunate.
So you said it was at the family's urging that they brought the child to hospital. So what kind of condition was the child in that led the family to be concerned?
I can't get into specifics, and what I can say is that that information will come out during the court process.
And are they in custody?
They are in custody, and they appear back in court on Monday morning.
And when you say faith, I just want to clarify, it's religious beliefs, it's their faith.
Yes.
Do you know if they had been following their vaccinations and all these things? I mean, usually there's a
There's
nurse that
nothing
comes in.
to indicate that the child has seen a doctor since birth.
Not once.
No,
After they were-
not once.
Was the baby born in a hospital?
No, I do not think so. No, the child was not born in the hospital.